Actually, I've told my wife's mother that both my parents died of illness. The son I raised alone said this to me with a smirk. I was stunned, unable to comprehend what he was saying. Today was his wedding day, and I was just about to go and greet his fiancée's parents before the ceremony started. Since there had been no meeting between the two families, I hadn't had the chance to greet them until today. As I was caught off guard by what my son said, I couldn't grasp the situation and felt bewildered. "What are you talking about? I'm supposed to be dead?" I asked him. He answered triumphantly, "Yes, my wife's family is wealthy, and they're not the kind of people someone poor like you should meet. I hated the idea of them having to deal with you, so I buried your existence, you know." "Then why did you invite me to the wedding if you wanted me to be considered dead? My being here would be inconvenient for you," I countered. My son burst out laughing. "Maybe to torment you. I wanted to make you suffer. Of course, you're not allowed to attend the ceremony." Oh, this is so funny. His mocking laughter reminded me so much of my ex-husband. Feeling a chill throughout my body, I suddenly became calm and looked at my son with cold eyes. He continued to laugh, oblivious to my reaction, and blurted out, "Now I can finally cut ties with the grandma I hate." At my son's declaration of disownment, a smile inadvertently escaped me. I'd been waiting for those words. My son looked puzzled. I firmly told him, "As you wish, let's sever our ties. I'm leaving now. My name is Tiffany. I'm 52 years old. I have a husband whom I married after an office romance. His name is David. We worked in different departments, but David was a celebrity in the office. So I had known about him since I first joined the company. This was because David had a handsome face and a friendly demeanor, which made him very popular among women. I had been quietly attracted to David from the beginning. One day, there was a joint drinking party with David's department, and that's where we quickly hit it off. David and I happened to be from the same hometown, so the conversation flowed easily, and we really clicked. Soon after, David confessed his feelings to me, and I vividly remember feeling over the moon with this unexpected turn of events. Of course, I accepted, and that's how we started dating. My relationship with David was going perfectly. He was always calm, and we got along so well that we never even had a single argument. Then, exactly 1 year from when we started dating, one day, David took me to a well-known restaurant with a beautiful night view. As we were nearing the end of our meal, David, looking nervous, began to speak. "Tiffany, I'm truly happy that I met you. If you're willing, would you marry me? I think we could make a great couple," he said as he opened a box with a ring in it, creating a scene straight out of a drama. With tears of joy, I accepted, and he placed the engagement ring on my left ring finger. Soon after, we registered our marriage, had a grand wedding ceremony, and received blessings from many people. At that moment, I felt like I was the happiest person in the world. I had no doubt that David and I would live a happy life together. However, my hopes were quickly shattered. Right after we got married, David began staying away from home, claiming he had overtime work or business dinners. Moreover, the once kind David suddenly became distant and indifferent towards me. "Hey, David, can you come home early today? Let's have dinner together. I'm thinking of making your favorite beef stew," I'd say. "Shut up. Just eat by yourself. I think I'll be late again tonight." "All right, I'm off to work," he'd reply, slamming the door as I stood alone in the entryway, confused by David's sudden change. I couldn't comprehend what was happening. Since David wanted me to, I had quit my job to become a full-time homemaker, and I spent my days alone at home, tirelessly doing housework. During these lonely days, I was thrilled to discover I was pregnant. I hoped that maybe David would come home earlier once our child was born. Time passed, and 3 days after the expected due date, I gave birth to a healthy boy we named Eugene. David, holding our newborn Eugene like a treasure, was moved to tears. Seeing him like this, I thought we could live happily as a family of 3. However, he soon started staying away from home again and stopped contributing much money to the household. Suspicious of David's actions, I decided to take a drastic step and follow him. After leaving Eugene with my parents, I followed David after he left work and saw him stop in front of an apartment. When he rang the bell, a beautiful woman came out from inside. David and the woman smiled at each other and went inside together. He was having an affair. As I reeled from the reality before my eyes, something inside me snapped. After that, I acted quickly. I used my savings from before I was married to hire a private investigator to look into David's activities. Soon, they gathered evidence that David was having an affair with that woman. Apparently, the woman's name was Jessica, and she seemed to be his classmate from college. I confronted David immediately to demand an explanation, but he was defiant. "Yeah, that's right. I've been with Jessica for years, long before I married you," he confessed. "But you know, Jessica is high maintenance and hopeless at household chores, so she's not really suitable as a marriage partner. In contrast, you're plain and domestic, which made you perfect as a wife in the sense of a housekeeper. That's why I married you. Plus, my parents were nagging me to get married." David's appalling words left me feeling devastated. Who else would marry someone ugly like you? Have you ever looked in the mirror? Someone at your level getting married to me. There had to be a catch, right? With that, David burst into laughter. Was he always this hideously joyful? Is Jessica the reason you stopped bringing money home? Somehow managing to muster my voice, I asked. Exactly. Jessica's into the latest trends and loves fashion, so she's always asking me for bags, cosmetics, and stuff. Honestly, her looks and body are top-notch, but it costs a fortune, David boasted, his face smug and vulgar. "Please, let's get a divorce," I finally said. David snorted in disdain. "Yeah, whatever. I never loved you or anything. Oh, what a mistake marrying you was. It was all meaningless, just a waste of time." David never apologized. Instead, he continued to hurl abuse at me until the end. After that, I demanded alimony and child support from David and divorced him. However, David, who always liked saving money, soon fell behind on payments. He seemed to have quit his job and disappeared, so I couldn't bring a lawsuit against him. All I could do was pull myself together and focus on raising Eugene well, trying to forget about David. When Eugene turned 1, I placed him in daycare and managed to find a job, starting to work again. From then on, I raised Eugene on my own. It was tough managing work, household chores, and childcare all by myself. But I did my best not to let Eugene feel the strain of being raised by a single parent. Until he finished elementary school, Eugene was a well-behaved, mother-loving child. Though he was a bit mischievous, he had almost no troubles with friends, and we managed to live quietly and peacefully together. However, when he started middle school, Eugene began to verbally abuse me. "Useless old hag, it's your fault I have to live in poverty. My life is a mess because of you, damn old hag," he screamed, unilaterally directing these hurtful words at me. Even as I tried to soothe him, he wouldn't listen and instead yelled, "Shut up," and struck me. Though still a middle schooler, Eugene was almost as big as an adult man, and his punch knocked me to the ground. Groaning, looking down at me, Eugene muttered with utter disgust, "You make me sick, old lady," then retreated to his room. This happened repeatedly. Despite my attempts to reach out, Eugene firmly kept his heart closed off to me. Verbal abuse and violence were the norm. and Eugene often deliberately threw all the food I cooked right into the trash in front of me. Seeing my shocked